idolizing growing up. Talk about what was going through your mind watching that ceremony, watching him say goodbye to the stadium and the fans and the games.
Well, it was something special. I mean, you know, what Cal represents both on the field and off the field is something special. And to be here for his last game, I think you're going to appreciate it more next year and in the future when you're playing the Orioles and he's not on the field, because you're so used to seeing him every day. It's something that you take for granted. I think fans take it for granted as well as opposing players. So it's going to be kind of awkward, but it's a day I definitely remember.
Is there something to it that, you know, Cal's last game in the stadium just went on and on and on and actually still hasn't ended?
It's kind of eerie, you know. Cal breaking Lou Gehrig's streak and then coming here for his last game, and the game just sort of never ended. It's kind of like the streak when it seemed like it was going, it would never end. So I think it's a fitting end for the end of a great career in New York.
At any point in that game, did you ever just say to yourself, man, when is Cal just going to jack one out of here?
I was scared because, you know, he's got a flair for the dramatic. He seems to always come up with big hits and big home runs in games where the spotlight's on him. So I thought for sure he was going to hit a home run that day, and fortunately it got rained out.
Talking about him stepping up to the occasion, he did it once again at the All-Star game. You were there. What was that like? Were you shocked when the first at he puts one out?
Well, I think everyone, you know, after he does it, you're not shocked, but when he actually, at the time when he hits the home run, it's something that it's pretty unbelievable because, you know, like I say, he's got a flair for the dramatic. He hit a home run when he tied the streak. He hit a home run the day he beat the streak. Now he goes to his last All-Star game, he hits a home run. And I'm sure his last game in Baltimore, he'll probably go deep as well.
Do you remember the first time you were introduced to Cal, the first time you met him, and what you guys said to each other?
Well, I think it was at second base during a regular season game my first year, and I just said, hello, Mr. Ripken, and that's about it. I think, you know, when you idolize someone like that, when you get the opportunity to meet him, it's more of, you're looking kind of wide-eyed and you're in awe of him, so I didn't really say too much.
Is there one particular piece of his game that you feel you've really modeled your game after, or one particular piece of advice that's stuck with you?
Well, I think the biggest thing you can learn from Cal is his positioning, because when you're a taller middle infielder, you know, you can't dive and you can't jump up and get up as quickly as some of the shorter players, and Cal is great at positioning himself. You know, he went an entire year making only 3 errors. That's pretty tough to do, but the reason he did is because he positioned himself so well, and I think he really studies the hitters, so I think that's the thing I take from Cal's game the most.
Another similarity between yourself and Cal is the devotion to the fans. Cal is known to stay after games hours at a time, always signing autographs. You're very similar. You've done that, you know, from spring training throughout the World Series. You're always, whatever ballpark you're in, you always take the time to acknowledge your fans, sign lots of autographs. Is that something you got from Cal?
Most definitely. He has a great deal of respect for the game. He has a great deal of respect for the fans, and you know, the fans are why we play. When we come out here, we're entertainers. We want to entertain the fans, and you know, he has a great relationship with the fans, not only in Baltimore, but throughout the country in every park he goes to. And you never hear Cal Ripken being booed. And I think that's something that a lot of the younger players have learned from, the way Cal treats the fans, and it's something that's definitely rubbed off on me.
You just talked about facing Cal. I believe you guys faced each other over 110 times in the course of 18 years.
Yeah.
Cal's a tricky guy. I mean, it could be a different stance every time you face him, always making adjustments. How did that affect your approach going into a game against the Orioles, knowing he's going to be making those adjustments?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was the thing. The scouting reports, it was difficult because he had so many different stances and he would make adjustments, you know, probably to make himself feel quicker at the plate, to get the bat through the zone. And so you had to be careful with him no matter what, whether it was early in his career or late. I mean, there were situations where, you know, he could hurt you, and you had to be aware of that. So we had some great battles, and like you said, when you face somebody, you know, 50, 75 times, 100 times, it really becomes a game within a game. You know, you start watching how he's thinking, and you're trying to, you know, defense that, and then be aggressive in other situations. So it was fun, and again, just to see him that, you know, you knew he was going to be in the lineup every day.
One of the situations that came up during the streak, a lot of pitchers were tentative to throw inside, didn't want to be responsible for ending the streak, didn't want to hit him, and you know, you not only threw inside, but I think you actually hit him with the pitch a couple times during the streak. Did you feel as a veteran, as a fellow competitor, that you owed it to Cal to keep the same approach and pitch him the way you would any other batter?
Yeah, you really didn't try, you know, change your style as far as pitching Cal during the streak. It's just amazing. You know, you see the stat with how many players have been on the disabled list throughout the streak that he had, and to break Lou Gehrig's streak. It's incredible just to see the amount of guys that were on the DL and he wasn't. But you knew he played through a ton of injuries that probably most of the guys would have sat out a game or two to overcome that. So that in itself was amazing. And yeah, when you faced him, you wanted to try and bury him inside. You have to do that. You have to show a lot of guys inside, especially great hitters. And I think there were one or two times. One time in particular, I think he was getting within the streak, pretty close to the streak, and I think I might have came in there and hit him on the wrist or something, and you almost hold your breath, because it's just you just never know. And and it might have been in Baltimore, I'm not sure, but yeah, we just continued to battle one another, try and pitch him inside best you can, and I think I might have made the comment after the streak was broken that okay, now that the streak's over, we can really pitch him inside now and not worry. I mean, as far as what I wanted to do, I knew I was going to be probably facing Cal his last appearance here at the stadium, and so the day before I went out to the monuments, he was doing some things out there, and I just wanted to tell him congratulations, and I enjoyed it. Sometimes I enjoyed facing him, sometimes I didn't, but we had some good battles against one another, and it was just great fun watching him over his career.
Hey, Jeff Scott and Jeff Spalding both send their best congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Best wishes. Just want to get a couple quick ones about the event. So, what can you tell us about the background of this? I know you've done it in a couple different cities, and how did it start?
That's the idea, to go around the country and do it in Major League ballparks and raise monies for charities in those particular areas. And so far, the response has been great.
What's it like doing it on this field, though? Hall of Fame weekend. It's got to be a little different feeling.
This makes it a little special in that you have so many great baseball fans here, and I think we had a total of about 24 people that were willing to pay $1,000 to come out and do this. So we're raising some good money here, and we're having fun at the same time. And it's my weekend, and with this being the thing that I did, it takes some of the edge off a little bit, being in my element and stuff. So I welcome this
I think it's a great idea. What do you think about the possibility of maybe them working this into every Hall of Fame weekend? I mean, maybe if they did it last year, maybe Big Dave could have been gunning guys out from right field. Or you think they got a chance to work something like that in?
Maybe you have to talk to the people with the Hall of Fame with that. But this was part of my overall concept of a way to raise money, and I didn't know how it was going to go at first, but it's turned out to be pretty good. People have been very responsive, and they seem to enjoy themselves when they come out here.
Noticed a lot of switch hitters in this group here, but you all swing right-handed.
That's the key to success, being a switch hitter. And you guys are some of my best friends that I had a chance to play with, and Mr. Denmark played a lot of golf with in St. Louis, so we make a pretty good team.
So you're going to turn around and play the last couple of holes lefty? Is that the way it works?
No, we don't plan on doing that.
All right.
All right.
So we'll see you around. Dan Ozzie, a lot of switch hitters on this little group here, and he says that's the key to the success. Does it play over into this game as well, or?
Well, we don't know about that, but we know for the years that we played together, it was a big success because we kind of offset the other opposition by. It was tough to bring in left and right-handed pitchers because we can always just switch over. But the biggest key was speed. I wish speed has a big play out here on the golf course, then we'll be under par.
We win it.
Yeah. Willie Ozzie said that you were going to turn around and play the last couple of those lefties. Is that true?
No. Not at all.
All right.
No, ain't enough time in the world to learn left-handed switch hitting this game.
It's tough enough on one side of the plate.
Yeah, it is.
Gotcha. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.